One, returns, this week. It is race week again. I think it is fair to say that Formula One fans can be very excited about that. So, yeah, Formula One returns from a 3-week break with the Belgian Grand Prix. This is a Grand Prix that promises to be a wet, race. It's going to be a wet weekend. From the weather forecast we've seen so far, it's going to be a very wet weekend, and we've been missing racing actions for some time now, and yeah, it's good to have Formula One back. And McLaren have been very, very dominant. They've been the dominant force this year. This is the last year of the of the regulations. So 2026 is going to be a clean slate again. We're going to have a new round of regulations. Do you think McLaren are going to continue their good form? And also, with Red Bull having made some changes, as we all know, Christian Horner, the former team principal, was fired at the summer break. That came after the British Grand Prix, due to the drop in performance. Because when you look at Red Bull, where they were in 2023, I think if someone told you that Red Bull will be down the pecking order in 2025, considering how good they were in 2023, and if someone told you that McLaren will be the fastest car by a country mile in 2025, seeing how they were in 2022 and how they were fighting at the back in 2023 as well, you probably wouldn't have believed it. It's been a massive turnaround, both positively and negatively, in terms of McLaren and Red Bull. And with Max Verstappen future in doubt as well, there have been a lot of rumors about him potentially joining Mercedes in 2026, and we're going to be dwelling a lot on this in our upcoming shows, but today we're not going to have the time for that. We're just going to feed you with the fact that Formula One returns this weekend at the Belgian Grand Prix. So who do you think is going to win the Belgian Grand Prix? McLaren are expected to be favourites. Of course, they've been the dominant force. Do you think it's going to be an Oscar Piastri's win? Do you think he's going to give himself a comfortable lead again in the championship, or do you think Lando Norris is finally going to take the lead in the championship? The healthy lead that Oscar Piastri had in the championship has now been cut short to just 6 points between the two McLaren drivers. So this weekend is going to be a very big weekend. And who do you think is going to win? Or do you think Max Verstappen is going to be a dark horse? Because this is a track that Max is really, really good at. When you look at the qualifying in Belgium in the past few years, Max has absolutely been phenomenal. He's been putting in hundreds of tens on the field in Spa, including his teammates. This is a track he's very, very good at. And do you think Ferrari expected to come in with a new updated rear wing? Do you think the updates that they've run in their test in Maranello, do you think is going to yield positive feedback? Do you think Ferrari are going to be back fighting for wins again?